Hi, I'm Courtney Morrison, and you're listening to Engagement Drivers, presented by EveryoneSocial. Each week, we'll share actionable tips, strategies, and success stories that you and your teams can use to steer your brand, social, and employee engagement in the right direction. Welcome back to Engagement Drivers. Today, I am so excited to be speaking with Caitlin Ganet, who is the Senior Manager of Social Media and Community Engagement at the American Medical Association. Caitlin, thank you so much for joining today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I am so impressed by what you are doing with the AMA for brand ambassadors, and I wanted to talk to you today about what you've been doing and how that came to be, and any advice that you have for people that are building a program like that.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about this. This and the ambassador program for the AMA has been one of the favorite moments of my day every day since 2018. So my colleague and I, J. Maury Johnson, who is a longtime employee of the AMA, sort of realized that she and I were doing the same thing simultaneously. So she worked with the members of the American Medical Association, who are physicians, on a day-to-day basis in person. And I worked with our AMA physician members on a day-to-day basis via social media. So she was collecting up kind of some of our most enthusiastic members into a cohort of people that could amplify the work and messages of the AMA and other important public health messages. And I was doing the same on social media. And we said, hey, let's combine forces. And the AMA invested in the ambassador program and said, all right, go to it. And so she and I spent about a year getting the pilot launched. And now here we are in 2021, going strong. Ambassador program is continuing to grow and get bigger than ever. It's been a wonderful experience.
That is so great to hear, and so cool that you're working with doctors and people that are so knowledgeable and just really on the front lines of everything that we've been dealing with in the last year, and helping them feel comfortable sharing about that. I really appreciate it myself.
Yeah, they inspire me every single day with the work that they do. And it's, an honor to work with them, to be honest.
So how are you able to get this program started and get doctors and ambassadors engaged on social?
Sure. So what we were aiming to do and what has ultimately happened is we harnessed the energy of our most enthusiastic members. So a lot of this was already going on social media, which is how I, kind of started collecting up the names and handles of people that were highly engaged. So what Maury and I noticed was that some of our members were spearheading a lot of advocacy for on behalf of the organization, not advocacy as in Washington, D.C., but championing the work of the AMA both in person and on social. So we kind of once the AMA signed off on moving forward with the brand ambassador program, we spent a full year really digging in. We interviewed our members, so those most enthusiastic people that were kind of already on our list. We said, okay, if we were to give you the tools and resources that you need to feel empowered to go out there and confidently share messages that are about the work of the AMA or about work that you feel really passionate about that is either being helped or, supported by the AMA. How can we, what do you need? So we interviewed these physicians who are already really busy, by the way. And so, but without their help, we wouldn't have been able to figure out the specifics. So talking to the people that were going to be ambassadors or who we were targeting to be ambassadors and finding out what they needed was probably one of the first and most important steps. One of the things that we kind of thought would be a big driver for them was gamification. But, we were saying, hey, what if we implement a reward system? Because, I like rewards. I know I do things if I'm incentivized more. But the doctors said to us, we're so competitive as it is, and we're out there, trying to compete, by nature. let's not make this about competition. This would be one space we would love not to feel that we need to win something. And that just was amazing feedback for my colleague and I. So it's stuff like that that we learned through this interview process.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting because it's so important to think about, what really does motivate people to want to do this, and getting that direct feedback and talking to them about what they would get out of it. Mm-hmm. And it might not be what you expect or what would work for you. That's so helpful. Do you have any advice for people that are listening and wanting to develop a brand ambassador program, and they're thinking about, well, should I be doing this online, in a digital space, or in person? Do you have any advice for that?
Yes, absolutely. So what we have found is that the program couldn't exist without both. So you need to have both digital and, for lack of a better term, analog. So what that means is in person. We've got the digital running throughout the year. Those are easy, lighter touch ways to be an ambassador. That could be perfect for someone that maybe just truly doesn't have the time to commit to attending meetings or meeting up with people, and then also if something like a global pandemic hits, your program is already set up because you've considered digital and in person. So, that was great that we already had a strong digital side of things ready to go for the pandemic when we had to scale back our analog side. But what we found when things were truly pre-COVID, digital is good to keep momentum going. But what is important to establish are these tent poles in which you can keep in-person connections going as well, because word of mouth and person to person is going to be immediately more authentic than something that's going on the internet. And I say that as someone who has worked in social media since 2011. It's just true. Talking to a person face to face is going to be more powerful than seeing a tweet from someone, but you should have both. The more touch points you can have, the better. So what I encourage is definitely pursuing a way to have a brand ambassador program online, but also to ensure that you have something in person, or a way to empower ambassadors to go out and connect with people in person. It doesn't necessarily have to be, let's all get together and have a meetup. It's just how to prepare people to have conversations with people.
So true. So valuable. I have loved this conversation, Caitlin. For anyone that's listening and wants to learn more about you and what you're doing at the AMA, where should they go?
Well, they can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Caitlin Ganet. But I think the bigger plug would be to please follow the AMA on social media. So the AMA's handle is at Amer Medical ASSN. And then we're also on Instagram at that same handle. And then LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Find us on there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with more engagement insights. Want to know how EveryoneSocial can provide you with the tools needed to keep everyone at your company connected, informed, creating, and sharing? Visit EveryoneSocial.com to learn more.